All right, well, welcome back to the channel. I am Kevin, your empowerment coach, where on this channel what we do is we empower people to live, to love, and to be. What this series of videos is one of our favorite shows that we watch together, and so there's a lot of things that we're pulling out from this. So if that's the kind of content you like, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notifications with this and other videos like this. As always, I am joined with my amazing wife, Tarsha.
Hey.
As we talk about our show, Put a Ring on It. And this is episode 4?
Yeah.
3? Okay. All right. So little episodes, after a while, they start running together when you start seeing other people's stuff. But we kind of, just to catch everybody up, we're going to just talk about the first couple being Hollywood and Ashley.
Yeah.
Hollywood doesn't have it. If you've been watching this, you know it looks like Hollywood's government name is Al, and I'm gonna call him Al every time.
He was determined to find what
every
his real
time
name
he does
was.
something, and I'm like, look, dude. But they had, pretty uneventful week.
Right.
I think one of the key things was they opened up, kind of continuing the conversation from the previous episode about kind of their things, and they're talking with Dr. Nicole.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think was important was the fact that they got to the issue of, does Ashley, is she upset about what happened, but is she also more upset by the fact that she stayed?
Right, because it's about her working through the pain of, I got embarrassed, right? Because once you get engaged, you're telling everybody, it's on the gram,
right. It's all over the place.
It's on Facebook.
You set dates.
Everything,
folks
right?
Getting dresses, all that.
Right, friends, family, and you got embarrassed.
Yeah.
But the thing was that came out was like, yeah, you got embarrassed, but you still stayed after the fact of being hurt.
Right.
So Dr. Nicole was able to really dig in and say, okay, what about you? Have you forgiven yourself for staying? You made the decision that you wanted to try to save the relationship after being embarrassed and staying in it. So she was like, give yourself some credit that you wanted to say, hey, is this relationship savable?
Right.
Or worth being savable.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, I think that's a key thing right there. It's just sometimes you have to forgive yourself for what you do, but also what you allow to happen to you. And I think for her, I think that's a key thing is that she's got to forgive herself for what she allowed.
Well, she didn't really allow for him to back out of an engagement.
Not necessarily allowed him to do that, but she allowed the relationship to continue past that.
I don't like the word. I think she decided to stay.
Okay, if we want to say it that way.
Hey,
we're saying the same thing.
It sounds better.
It sounds better, okay. No, okay. I'll leave it at that. All right, I'll leave it at that. But then they go out on date. Well, Al or Hollywood had his date.
He had his date.
Listen, now I'm going to call him Al.
Well, I think you have to, if you could be thinking something, he likes to think the first thing that comes in his head. Calling someone a tall oak tree may not have been the best thing. She was taller than him.
Right.
But, he should have called himself short. He could have.
Yeah, I don't know too many women that like being called trees.
Right.
I don't know. Granted, I've been out of dating for a while, but.
So that's not the type of person he would typically date.
But can we talk about how Al don't know how to play Jenga?
Oh my. Okay, so the whole time he's trying to communicate, only thing I can think about, he says he's never played Jenga. And he doesn't know how to play Jenga. And they're playing it wrong. I don't think she knew how to play Jenga. So I was so upset that the whole game was like, they're not playing the game right. I couldn't even focus on what they were saying.
It's like,
it was awful.
And I hopefully the producers hooked them up and said, okay, here's some instructions for y'all. Because y'all going to really look really ridiculous. Even more ridiculous than I think they did. So
that was interesting. I was just like, yeah, I don't know how to play Jenga.
Listen, go get you a Jenga game. Practice. That's, and so I'll talk about, we'll cut to a little bit about the man conversation that they had, but that was all that I think we saw with Hollywood and Alicia.
She went out on her date.
Yeah.
He was a nice date.
So at the end,
she had a good time.
At the end, they decided that they're not going to go on dates again with the same people they've already gone on.
Correct.
They're going to continue dating new people.
As they go through this process.
Correct.
Correct.
hopefully it looks like we're seeing some growth there. We're seeing
Yes.
some things.
Even Dr. Nicole noticed it,
Yes.
and I think they're starting to notice some things. Because see, once you can communicate,
Right.
then you get past those barriers.
And learn how to do that. Although one
Right.
thing that Hollywood keeps saying that I know triggers
Oh, I got. If he says I've been waiting 2 years, I've been waiting 2 years. Girlfriend been waiting 7. I felt her pain. I don't understand why men can't understand. Oh my God, this is hurting me, and it lasted 30 seconds for you. When for us, we deal through for years.
Again, Hollywood's got to let Alicia get through the healing process.
Yes.
And he keeps reopening that wound, right? We've talked about that.
Yeah.
I'll just say this: when the guys had their round table, because last week the ladies had their round table where they kind of talked through. The guys had their round table, and Hollywood basically was saying,
I'm shaking my head. Like, I don't think he's learned. He was
He
like,
hasn't.
have I done everything with women before I got married? He's like, I haven't done this. And
yeah. So Hollywood, you've watched it. Hollywood wanted to have one of the things that's on his bucket list, if you will, before he gets married, is to have a threesome. And he's like, I don't want to do it with Alicia. I want to do it with other women.
Right.
So now here's the thing: they're gonna watch this.
They're going to see this, and it's like it's
So
going to come.
now that opens up again.
Okay, but say in the moment he's being honest.
Mm-hmm.
While you were on your hiatus, and you didn't want to marry her,
you could have done it.
why didn't you go ahead and do it then?
Yep.
Why you got this fantasy in your head that something's holding you back when you gave yourself the opportunity to say, I'm a break off the engagement, maybe we should date other people, then you didn't do it.
Yeah.
So get out of your head and let's come on and mature and say, you know what, I found the woman, so nothing else matters.
Right. So we have to have an Al moment, it looks like, every week. So that was Al's moment.
That's
All right.
the moment.
Not Hollywood, Al. All right. And then the next couple, we got Vince and Tamika, who are the newer couple.
They're
right?
a newer couple. They replaced Mimi and
Ulysses, right?
Yes.
So
2 years. They've been together.
Been together 2 years. Still some concerns about whether it's miscommunication
Right.
or basically there were some issues with a previous relationship
Yes.
that seemed to spill over into their relationship.
Exactly. He was still messing with some other young lady,
Mm-hmm.
and the young lady was thinking she was the only one.
Right.
So in
And
his
provided
head,
receipts to show that she was
right.
the only one.
In his head, he moved on, but he didn't make sure the young lady knew.
Right.
He moved on.
Right. And so that impacted their relationship
Yes.
together. So we saw Vince go out on his date with Jazzy, I think was her name.
Yes, Jazzy.
And so, good little date.
Good little day, but
wasn't a
he kind of
smart-
set his girlfriend up.
Yeah. He kind of threw her under the bus just a little.
Yeah, because
like because the thing about trust issues.
Right. Well, and this date was like, she kind of had a reaction. Oh yeah, I kind of wanted to see, if she really, was feeling me, and
Right.
that shows that she cares. I'm like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, you messed up, and she's still there. Should mean or indicate that she still cares.
Right.
And that she still feel hurt by what happened.
Right.
Should show she still cares.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have cared. I would have left a long time ago. And you would have known I didn't care. But he decided to use this day to, again, I feel like put salt in the wound.
Right. Right.
He's not bright.
Yeah. So, but they also chose to not go on dates with the people that they went on with. For Tamika, I think that was an easy choice.
Because we talked about it.
Dude was corny. They told another one of his corny jokes. Listen, bro, if you're watching, get some new material because it was just trash. All right. So for them now.
Well, and before you start rubbing your hands together, we do have to mention that when she was talking to Dr. Nicole, the both of them, how she felt like he was blaming her and indicating because she was entertaining the young lady sending her messages saying, I'm just not saying your dude is out there. Like, he's having a serious relationship with me. And he's saying these things that make me feel that me and him are still together along with you.
Right.
So she, in her head, thinks Vince is blaming her.
Right.
you know, so she had to really kind of deal with speaking up for herself and making sure that she's getting what she wants, but at the same time allowing him to speak as well.
And that reminds me of another thing also. A great point by Dr. Nicole was that Tamika basically creates a lot of narrative in her head.
Yeah.
So she does a lot of worst case scenario in her brain where she is, you know, he's out. What if he's now kikiing with her? And now what if now they connect? And then what if they decide that they're going to abandon me? And so she starts going down these rabbit trails. And it creates this worst case scenario in her mind that now she's paralyzed, if you will, by those things.
Yeah. Okay? And I think women can tend to do that. You know, only thing you need is a small scenario, and then you have a whole story in your head.
A whole Tyler Perry movie.
Whole Tyler Perry movie.
All right, now let's get on to
go ahead, get on
Michael and Shay.
Shay.
I'm gonna have to come up. I guess Shay is her government name. I'm gonna have to create another name for Shay for these moments, and that just might be her permanent name. Because Shay. So let's talk. Michael went on his date.
Michael went on his date, and he was smitten. Mike was like, "Wow, hey, I found me a new thing."
Listen, there's a scene where Mike is like checking her out. Mike's like, "Okay, I see you, I feel you." So Mike seems to have a good date. They're vibing. They're having a good chemistry. What have you? Well, even before they got to the date, Shay just came off a little aggressive. And Shay came off very.
Shay came off Shay. Because this is not his first date.
That's true.
So, I mean, she came off the same way she was when he went on first date. So
Shay a man to change his shirt and everything. It was like, dude, relax.
Well, yeah. I mean, so Shay came off as Shay. But even Shay's date, which was Ray J's older brother, at least that's what I'm calling him, because the dude looked like Ray J. I'm sorry, when you see this episode, you like, oh my God, he looked
like Ray J.
Older brother. He looked a little older. He looked older than Ray J.
He looked like Brandy's illegitimate brother.
So dude looked like Ray J. They seem to be vibing, having a good time and different stuff. You know, and she's making these small comments about, well, if he doesn't want to marry me, I might have to move on. But as we go on, Michael's like, I got a 12-year-old son.
Michael's got a kid. And we're at the point now, Michael's son is 12. And the plan was that...
Or his plan is.
His plan is. Let me say that. Yes, his plan is that his son would come live with him for high school.
Makes sense.
Makes absolute sense.
Normally happens.
Those are some really important years in the life of a young man, right? So if dad is active and involved in life, that may be but mom and dad aren't together, that might be a perfect thing. And so it seems that's the plan, right?
That's what Michael seems to have in his head, but has not shared that.
Shay got other thoughts.
Yeah.
Shay makes the statement, well, it was unusual, having this third person at dinner with us.
Yeah, because he was there for the summer. And he normally keeps him in the summer. Right. And Mike's trying to fill her out. Like,
right.
Okay,
He's like, are y'all connecting? Are y'all vibing? What have you?
You like him being here?
Well, it was kind of weird. It was a third person at dinner. Okay, so that's red flag number one. Right?
We can't go out and hang out because there's a third person.
And then in one of the asides, she basically is like, I think that his son needs to stay with his mama.
But he can come for the summer.
Ooh,
that is not going to work.
Listen.
That is not going to work.
Let me just tell you right now.
For a man trying to raise a black man.
He's trying to be in his son's life. Let's just stop there.
Hey, celebrate, thankful.
We already have the stigma that black men aren't involved in their children's lives.
And they are, yes.
But we are. Statistics show that.
Yes.
But here is a young man who has a child.
Right.
Who has a plan that says, I am going to take care of my son.
Yes.
Be very active and have him with some very important years.
Right.
And you're in my life, and I want you guys to connect. I want you, because if we're going to be married, he's part of my life.
Right.
And she makes a statement, he needs to stay with his mama?
Yeah, to herself. She's not making this out loud. Not yet. But that's very concerning when you say this is the love of your life and you're pressuring someone to marry you.
Right.
but you haven't come clean with how you want to pursue life together.
Right.
Because I would already thought like, okay, he's 12. Are you even thinking about him ever living with you?
Right.
You know, what is the relationship between you and the mother?
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all going to switch off and on?
Right.
Is this going to continue till he's an adult?
All of these.
These are conversations you need to be having.
Yes.
Because to me, this keeps you married.
Yeah.
You don't wait until you get married and tell them like, oh, fate you out. I don't want your child to come live here, but we're going to stay married.
Right.
That's how you end up in divorce. People
Right.
say, I don't want to be in divorce, but we don't want to share
Right.
what we want. So
yeah. So Shay, of the couples, I'm going to just say this. Shay right now is irritating me the most. She is really irritating me the most because she is very selfish. I basically, and again, all of this is based upon what's presented.
Right. Well, and this is what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that we don't tell people that we're in a relationship. This is what we're feeling.
Right.
Because we're upfront and honest with people upfront. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
Now, you said you have a kid. Is your kid going to stay with his mother? Because if we get together, I don't want your kid here full time. Now,
Right.
he can come weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He can come summer. Spend Christmas.
And then I have the opportunity to make that decision
Then
on,
give people an opportunity to make a
we
decision.
just going to be good friends
Right, and stay good friends.
and end it. So at the end, Dr. Nicole is going with the couples, and she is, okay, who wants to go on their date?
Right.
Now, we find out, of course, Shay is like, no, I don't want to go
Yeah.
on that date. Michael, though, before he gets asked the question,
He's been texting
He's
her.
been texting
Whitney, who he went on a date with.
Yeah,
Who he
he-
was smitten by.
yeah,
He's
he's
been
like,
exchanging some texts.
there's some chemistry there. They have not gone on a second date
Right.
yet.
Right.
And so the cliffhanger that we're left with at the end of
Right.
the episode is, will Michael go on a second date
I think you should.
with Whitney?
I think if you feeling her,
I know this has happened
should.
already. I know that we're just kind of catching up, but Michael, go on that second date. Michael, listen to an older brother, if you will.
you have to see what happens.
And I'm all for love. We've been married for 20 plus years, so I'm not trying to break up a happy home, but
It's
that
not
mess,
happy.
It ain't happy.
Because she wants one thing, he wants something else.
So Michael,
You man.
Michael,
It's over now. We don't know. We'll see
take
what
that
happens.
second date.
We're hopeful that he'd be honest with himself.
Yes. Yes.
You know, now if there's something, again, we only can see clips of people's
True.
life. So we don't know if there's something that, out of everything that he said was good, was there really something bad that was like, when
Right.
we text, I didn't want to do this.
Right.
But I think he should be, I think the problem is people, again, which people are not being honest
Mm-hmm.
truly about everything they want and their feelings.
Yeah.
And so they find themselves in these situations where one wants to move forward and get married, and the
Yeah.
other person is like, I can't move forward, which is a good thing.
Right.
I think in my mind.
And I think there are so many things that are up in the air with Michael and Shay
Yeah.
that have not been addressed.
Right.
That I would not counsel them to get married.
I would hope they would go to premarital counseling.
But at this moment right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, that's all we got for this recap and reaction to Put a Ring on It. But definitely make sure you check out our other videos. We do
Yes.
relationship tips based off of Put a Ring on It, as well as we review what's the other show, Ready to Love.
Ready to Love.
And we got a lot of other content coming. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ask for the notifications. And
Like
we will
us.
see you next time. Be blessed.